in movies, everyone talks about the actors. Some people talk about the director, but nobody talks about the writer. Oh my goodness. So, how are we going to market writers and make us a brand? Well, come with me and let's change, well, hopefully how you and Amazon and Netflix see writers. So, let's take a look at this week's writer. And again, I'm choosing a writer-director because often writer-directors are more famous than just pure writers. And I want to show people how I think it's easier for people to recognise their names. So I'd like to talk about the Wachowskis. Now, first they were known as the Wachowski brothers, then the Wachowskis, and now they're kind of the Wachowski sisters, but we'll just sort of I'll just refer to them as the Wachowskis, Lily and Lana Wachowski. So the reason why I've gone through that is because I think it's actually quite important and pertinent to the overall themes. But let's dive into it. I think everyone knows who the Wachowskis are, but the Wachowskis, I think when people think of them, they think of these big action movies, amazing visuals, and with good reason. They are probably two of the best action directors out there working today, and the most visually interesting, stunning, creative minds out there today. So I think it's very easy to overlook them as writers, and they are actually writers. So let's go and take a look. So obviously their most famous work is the Matrix Trilogy, and which is essentially set in the, well, we think it's set in the late 1990s, but actually it's far into the future as Neo discovers the world is basically a matrix. Excuse me. So all humans are plugged into a big computer mainframe, and quite interesting. So of course this film does delve into a lot of paranoia stories. I mean, definitely a allegory for Jesus Christ or Superman. There's a lot of themes of Catholicism in there, and also a little bit of a, did I say Alice in Wonderland before? Anyway, so there's a lot of those themes there. But thinking of their overall work, what works in together? Now, I think one thing which is in each of their films, Neo, or Keanu Reeves, the character, when he's alone, he's vulnerable, he's in danger. But once he finds his tribe, let's say Morpheus, Trinity, he's actually, while he's in actually more danger, in some ways he's a lot safer because he's in a group. And I think this is a recurring theme in their work. Another theme is this idea of the fact that the world isn't as we would like it to be, or isn't what it seems. And I think this is something that perhaps I can understand as a LGBT writer myself, and Alana and Lily being in the T category. I think for them, being born in the wrong body, having to go through a process, seeing how the world isn't what it's supposed to be, I can see how they would, as very creative individuals, come up with the idea of that we're all living in this matrix, and that in order to sort of lift the veil and live in reality, we must go through some kind of transformation. So I think these are two perhaps overall themes that you could take a look at. Now in their lesser known work, I could choose something like Bound, but what I'd like to choose is V for Vendetta, because this is one work where they were the writers and not the director, actually. Now, V for Vendetta is again a fantastic film, and again you see this theme of transformation, where you've got the Natalie Portman character who is, I guess, goes through this torture ritual and then comes out of it transformed and is much stronger, which I think is this idea, perhaps as a trans person, you are living in this very hard life, but if you go through the transformation, that you'll be much better and happier for it in the long run, even though it might be hard. Now, and the other thing is that, I guess, again, we see this idea is that when you're in a group, you are stronger, and this could actually be true for trans people in general, who are quite the most vulnerable members of our society and the LGBT community, where about 75% have experienced domestic violence and they have a very high murder rate. So let's try and protect the weakest members of our community. So moving along, this is quite dark, but the Wachowskis do explore very dark themes. The next thing I'd like to talk about is, I guess, a couple of works, but partly Cloud Atlas, but also Sense8, because Sense8 really incorporates these themes. They created this TV series for Netflix, Sense8, which is essentially about these clusters of people who, when they are together, they're able to have these superpowers. So again, you have this theme of transformation and being stronger together as a group. So if you have a Netflix account, I highly recommend diving into Sense8. So that's all we have time for this week. Please go and check out Lana and Lily Wachowski's work, and if you are interested in more dark themes, perhaps you'd like my Jane Campion piece, or please, if you like themes of love and maybe community, take a look at my piece on Nora Ephron. Hope you like, comment and subscribe, and I definitely look forward to reading your opinions, and please ding my bell so you can find out what's happening next week. Bye for now.